What's good everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the recently released Air Jordan 1 High 85 in this band colorway versus the Air Jordan 1 High OG in this black toe colorway. So without further ado, let's take a look at both of these shoes. Alright, so I do want to compare the High 85s versus the High OGs. But before we do that, let's take a look at both of the boxes that these shoes do come in. So the Air Jordan 1 High 85 band did release in this black and red inspired box right here. They come with white tissue paper, and the size tag label does read Air Jordan 1 High 85 in black, varsity red, and white. And I did get these in a US size 10.5. And then the Air Jordan 1 High OGs in the black toes do come with this really cool kind of imagery here at the top of the box with Michael Jordan holding that Air Jordan 1 kind of PE. They come with some paper with some more photos on it, as you can see right here. So it's a really cool kind of customized box. The size tag label does read Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG in white, varsity red, black, and sail. And again, I did get these in a US size 10.5. All right, now getting into the shoes and the differences within the shoes themselves. Now I am gonna take both left shoes here and put them down in the middle, and I'll have the rights kind of off to the side right here. But I do want to go over the differences of the High OGs versus the High 85s to kind of give you guys a look at what the differences are, why the price points are different, and what I prefer. Right off the bat, I'll say I do prefer what's closest to the OG all the time and every time, and that is the High 85. So starting at the bottom of the shoe, as you can see right here, the outsole of the High OGs versus the High 85s are a lot wider right here, as you can see in the forefoot and in the heel. And then the High 85s is a lot slimmer and thinner. It's just the way the shoe is built back in the day, and here for this retro, it's much wider here on the High OGs, sorry. Now on the texture on the midsole, I will pull the right shoe to kind of give you a look on both. But as you can see right here, it is a lot slimmer here on the High 85 versus the High OG, and the texture is a lot different. This tooling here on the midsole is based on the 1985 pair. This one right here is based on the newer style. It's more of a straight across midsole, as you can see, whereas this one has the little hump right here at the midfoot, and the overall texture is a lot different. I don't really care for this one right here. It's kind of digitized, the same print over and over again, whereas this one is kind of a lot different to the look and just the overall feel as well. The back of the shoe, you can tell it's just way different as far as the rubber cup sole on the outsole and on the portion that wraps up to the midsole. Now the overall materials on these are a lot softer. Right off the bat, you're going to get a softer material across the board. The ankle collar is not very dense. You can easily kind of bend it and move it as far as the ankle collar and just the materials. Now the materials on these guys are a lot stiffer, a lot thicker, and the ankle collar is insanely dense, the padding. Like, it's very hard to bend this here. You can see it does flare out a lot more, but this padding and just the materials are a lot more dense, and it's gonna take a lot more time to break in. This is very soft and supple. This is a lot more dense, and once these break in, they feel amazing on foot. But the first couple wears are a little bit challenging, whereas these, they're softer right off the bat, kind of made to wear right off the bat. So a lot of people do like that about the High OGs. As far as the tongues go, the materials for the nylon are a lot different as well. This is kind of your standard tongue right here. It's hard to tell other than feeling it. This one here is a lot softer. This one here is more texturized. The thickness of the tongue as well is a lot thicker on the High 85s, as you can see right here with this really thick padding, whereas on the High OGs, it is a lot thinner padding on the High OGs. The script on the tongue has the registered trademark above the swoosh and beside the Nike. On the high OGs, it does not. Those are two differences right there. Another difference is on the high 85s, you have the size tag label stamped on the inside, whereas on the high OGs, they don't. That is an original feature from back in the day. They both come pre-laced with black and red laces at the bottom two eyelets. Another difference is at the back of the shoe on the high 85s, it's a lot more straight up and down, whereas on this one, it does curve in towards right here at the top. It kind of curves in a little bit. So you can see that right here. That is another difference with this shape and mold over these guys right here. And the Wings logo is obviously present on this retro, whereas on this, they went with that PE or kind of sample version of the Air Jordan. The red is a lot darker on this, a lot deeper, whereas it's a lot brighter on the band pair right here. The insoles are a lot different as well. The insole on this pair right here is kind of that black polyurethane style insole, whereas on the band pair for the high 85s, I've got a set of insoles that I have out from my worn pair. It is kind of like this polyurethane white material, and then it has a dual density foam here in the kind of forefoot right here with that yellow portion. So that is a pretty big difference as far as the insole goes. And then the laces themselves, the kind of overall lace here on the high 85 are a lot closer to the 1985, whereas these guys are not. So that is another difference between the two of them right there. So again, there's just so many differences between the two of them, but the retail price point is another huge difference. So these guys retail for $250 USD, whereas these guys were $180 USD. These were $335 here in Canada. These were $235. So the price point is very different, a huge difference in price point. And then the toe box is different as well. It's a lot more sloped and slanted like the originals, whereas these ones, they're pretty sloped on this retro, but typically they're a bit more boxy. But as you can see right here, they're pretty similar in hand. This one is a little bit more sloped. But overall, this one here, they are saying that they did take an original 1985 pair apart to build this retro, whereas this high OG is kind of just built on the standard pairs that they've been releasing for years. This pair also comes with the hang tag, which was from back in the day. It has all of the kind of OG specs right here for the shoes, for the cushioning, these stabilizer straps, and just everything that you're getting within this shoe. So that comes on a black bungee, which is a very nice touch on the high 85s. And these don't come with any sort of card or anything. So overall, this is a very clean pair of shoes. But just for me and what I prefer in Air Jordan 1s, I prefer what's closest to the original, and that's every time and twice on Sunday, the Air Jordan 1 High 85. I just prefer the build, the materials. Yeah, the price point is terrible. The way they released the shoe, in my opinion, was terrible, just not making enough pairs. I think they could have done a much better job on just letting the masses enjoy this shoe, but they didn't. This was, framed as the consolation Air Jordan 1, but you know what? It's a very clean shoe. Pretty good materials. If you don't mind the high OG build, that's exactly what you're getting. A cool thing that they did put on the left shoe from a pair that was signed by MJ himself, it does say "My very best, Michael Jordan." So if you do put a black light to this right here, you can see that on the interior of the left shoe. The right shoe does not have it. But sound off in the comments what you guys prefer between the two shoes. Do you prefer the Air Jordan 1 High 85 in this band OG colorway? Or do you prefer the Air Jordan 1 High OG in this black toe variety? I'm still waiting on this to come out in the High 85, but in the meantime, this is a pair that will be getting a ton of use, and it brings a lot of enjoyment to the fans as far as having a black tongue. This is a bit of a switch up. A ton of people were kind of up in arms about. But what's cool about this shoe is it's widely available. You can still grab them in most sizes online. I think that's really cool from the brand, just making these very widely available. I just wish they did that with this pair right here. But sound off in the comments what you guys think of both of these shoes and what build do you prefer, the OG build or the High 85 build. But that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.